Beneath the vast, timeless sky of Istanbul, where the Bosphorus has witnessed empires rise and crumble for centuries, the Turk Telekom Stadium awakens in a blaze of light. Juventus, the storied old lady dressed in her iconic black and white jersey, strides onto the pitch like a regal yet battle-worn sovereign returning to claim what is hers. Opposite her stand the fiery lions of Galatasaray, their yellow and red banners whipping through the night air like living flames, the entire arena trembling under the thunderous chorus of 50,000 voices united in passion. Victor Osimhen glides across the turf with a panther's lethal grace, his gaze sharp and unyielding as Juventus arrives burdened by domestic struggles and desperate for European redemption. The air feels heavy. Fresh-cut grass blends with flare smoke and distant street spices, every breath pulling crowd and players into the same tense rhythm. When the referee's whistle cuts through the dusk, Italian precision and Turkish wildfire collide in a spectacle both ancient and fiercely modern. This is no ordinary Champions League playoff first leg. It is a poetic confrontation of heritage against hunger, of calculated elegance tested in the furnace of unrelenting fervor. The floodlights carve long, dramatic shadows across the dew-glistening field. Every touch of the ball already carries the promise of legend, of heartbreak, of sudden turns that will echo long after the night ends. Founded in Turin's industrial heart in 1897, Juventus became Italian football's standard of dominance with 36 Serie A titles and 2 Champions League crowns. Built on resilience and tactical control, yet the last decade has tested that aura through scandal, financial strain, and painful rebuilds. Galatasaray, established in 1905 as Istanbul's sporting heartbeat, answers with 23 Super League titles and the iconic 2000 UEFA Cup triumph, fueled by a fan culture that turns every home night into the roaring Chin Bomb furnace. This meeting unfolds under the revamped 2026 Champions League playoff format, a high-stakes bridge between footballing traditions where Juventus seeks continental redemption and Galatasaray aims to cement Turkey's elite ambitions, while memories of tense past clashes linger like unfinished business. Before kickoff, ritual takes over. Calls to prayer drift into club anthems. Yellow-red scarves ripple beneath blazing floodlights. Coaches hold their lines like chess masters, and the pitch becomes a silver-green stage, charged with pride, redemption, and the ruthless arithmetic of knockout football. From the first whistle, Juventus asserts its pedigree, circulating the ball with polished calm until a clinical strike silences the home roar. But Galatasaray answers through ruthless counters, Osimhen surging forward, and Gabriel, Sara blasting from distance to flip the mood, leaving the visitors 2-1 ahead at halftime, with a lead that feels fragile. Under the glare of the floodlights, sweat shines, tackles snap, and every near-miss thunders around the stadium. Noah Lang slips through tight spaces with mischief and menace, while Juventus' structure begins to fray in rushed clearances and mistimed challenges as drums pound and flares ignite the night. When the whistle signals the break, tension hangs thick as players retreat into the tunnel, lungs burning and minds recalibrating. The first act having delivered craft and warning in equal measure, promising a second half charged with inevitable storm. '67th minute. Juan Cabal lunges in panic and catches his opponent high, the referee flashing red without hesitation as Juventus drops to 10 men, the stadium detonating into a wall of sound that feels almost violent. Galatasaray senses weakness and storms forward with ruthless intent, Osimhen towering in every duel while Juventus' defense fractures under pressure, one reckless challenge unraveling structure and belief at once. The shift feels brutally cinematic as tactics blur. Confidence drains, traveling fans fall silent, and Cabal's solitary walk down the tunnel leaves a void that tilts the night toward gathering chaos. The goals fall without mercy. Noah Lang finishes twice with icy precision. Davinson Sanchez thunders in a header, and Maris Alper Yilmaz drives home the fifth as the scoreboard surges to 5-2. Osimhen orchestrating the chaos with imposing authority while the stadium trembles. Juventus visibly fades, disbelief carved across tired faces, while Galatasaray erupts in raw celebration. Players collide in embraces. Substitutes spill onto the touchline. Flares stain the sky red and gold as noise and smoke swallow the night. It becomes football stripped to its nerve endings. One side buried under collapse, the other lifted into legend. And as the final whistle approaches, Istanbul crowns a triumph that will echo long after Juventus hopes have turned to dust. The collapse exposes a brutal truth. Prestige means nothing once pressure splits the armor, and a red card plus a few tactical fractures can reduce even a titan to 5-2 rubble, leaving Turin to wrestle with hard questions about leadership, recruitment, and mentality that may echo through the season. Galatasaray walks away reinforced, their identity amplified on a continental stage as Osimhen's authority and the supporters relentless. Thunder-proof Turkish football can stare down Europe's old guard without blinking. At its core, the night becomes a mirror craft against combustion, one dimming as the other ignites, reminding us that sport strips everything bare, where collapse instructs and perseverance lingers long after the numbers lose their sting. The final whistle dissolves into the Istanbul night as Juventus slips away beneath dimming lights and heavy banners, their shadows trailing like quiet regrets, while Galatasaray's roar lingers warm against the dark and the Bosphorus flows on, indifferent and eternal. Chants fade, smoke thins, and the night folds every cheer and heartbreak into memory, reminding both lion and old lady that glory flickers, defeat instructs, and by dawn, the endless dance of hope and reckoning begins again.